Freeway. My name is David J. Howard. I'm the man rocking the Ray-Bans. And today I thought I'd talk about something I heard about on a podcast today. There's this guy going around. He's been on the talk show circuit and the podcasting circuit talking about his this movement that he's creating. I don't know if he wrote a book. I didn't get the whole gist of it. But it's this guy from England with a very, very thick English accent. And I apologize if I'm not getting the accent correct, but I know it's English, but it's from the UK. I don't know exactly where. But he's putting out this doctrine about how nobody in the world now, no young people today can get rich. That world has passed them by. And it's funny because at first I was like, I really don't like the way this guy's talking. I don't like his rhetoric. I don't like the message he's sending. But then I heard somebody else reviewing this conversation and talking about his own take on it. And there was this the two guys were arguing. There was one guy from the UK with that thick accent, saying the only way to help people now is to tax the crap out of rich people. That's the only way to give people a fair shake, which I wholeheartedly disagree with. And I'll explain why in a second. And the other guy is saying, what a horrible message to teach young people, when young people should be taught to actually go out there and actually chase after their dreams and become entrepreneurial. And actually, there is a way to do it. It is possible. And the two of them, I agreed with both of them. I don't agree with taxing your way out of a problem. I disagree with that 100% because I believe in fair taxation. And what a lot of people think fair is take everything away from someone who makes over, say you make more than this much money, take everything away over this much. That's what some people think is fair. I think that's a horrible concept because it takes away people's drive to actually to excel, to get to that level. Because you're going to get to that level and they're going to take it all away. Why work that much harder than the guy beside you if they're just going to take it away anyways? That's socialism. I'm not a big fan of it. I believe that there needs to be definitely a network, like a social net underneath people to catch them when things don't go smoothly, when things go badly. But I disagree, 100% I disagree with taxing people, taking money away from people, and the only reason you're taking it away from them is because they have it. I disagree with that thinking, that theology. I hate it. I hate it so much because, again, it takes away people's incentive to do more. So, but the other guy was saying, well, all you got to do is be more of an entrepreneurial mindset. You just think like an entrepreneur. And then the guy countered and says, that's horrible. Tell people what this one guy was saying from the UK was saying, his thing was telling people it's not your fault you're poor. It's not your fault that you're poor. It's this guy's rich because mommy and daddy were rich, and he's not rich because he did it on his own. And I think that's number one. That's a bad message to send. That rich people are only rich because of something else, some outside element to help them get to that level. I disagree with that. It's a bad message to send. But the other guy's saying, well, he's saying you should do it, but some people can take that as being it's your fault you're poor. And I know sometimes, I'm just going to open up this back window. It is getting a little hot. I think this is the first hot day we've had since winter started. Oh, it's so nice out. I think one of my failings with this show and this message that I've been trying to teach is I may have inadvertently been saying it is your fault, because I am trying to, in my my exuberance, my yearning to teach people and give people a roadmap to how to get out of poverty and into a place where you can feel more in financial control. I may have been saying things that would make people think it's their fault. If you're struggling right now to get through and make things happen, you do have to take some accountability for where you are, but the reality is things are definitely tougher. Things are made tougher because there was a time when everyone getting a house was a way to kind of stay ahead of the inflation, because the asset of owning a house, the asset itself, would rise with inflation. My first house, the first house I bought, oh my God, the first house I bought was like for $30,000. That was in 91. And I mean, now that house would probably be worth, but it was up in Prince George too. That's another thing to remember. This was in Prince George, but I had such a drive to have real estate when I was young. So at 21 years old, I went out and got myself the cheapest real estate. The cheapest real estate I could get for what I could afford. Sorry, the most real estate I could get for what I could afford at the time. That's what I'm trying to say. And it was up in Prince George. I got in, so you think about that. You can't find a place for $30,000 now. And this was a fairly new house. It was a small house. I think it was like 500, 600 square feet. It was a pretty small house. It wasn't 1,000 square feet. 1 bathroom, 3 bedrooms, 1 living room, 1 kitchen. That's basically it. That's all it had. There's no driveway. There's no garage. There was a driveway. There's no garage. So my whole thing is, I'm here to say, apologetically, yes, I have maybe, and I take full responsibility for saying that maybe I do put too much blame on where you are in your life on you, when it's not your fault. There's a lot going on, like where you were born, how you were raised, the trauma you received while you were being raised, because everyone has a certain amount of trauma. Everyone has trauma from their childhood, but there might have been something definitive that happened that set you back and took the idea of wealth and control out of your life. Fair enough. I appreciate that. And I'm here to say, I agree with this guy. We should be telling people it's not your fault. However, I think on the flip side of that message is, it may not be entirely your fault that you are where you're at right now. The education system failed you. Your parents may have loved you, but they failed in educating you on finance. And your friends. Then the other educational factor in your life is your peer group. What are they doing to teach you about finance? So this is why when you're around a bunch of people, you become like those people. So all that being said, I think it is fair to say it's not your fault. But even if you're in a car accident and someone made it so you couldn't ever play gymnastics ever again for the rest of your life, you still have to, what are you doing? There you go, get out of the way. You still have to take you have to understand that your life is now, you still have a choice in how you live your life. And this is what a lot of people don't want to do. They want to say, yeah, it's not my, oh, what are you doing? Whoa, 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 whoa. It's not your fault that you're where you're at, but regardless if it's your fault or not, you still have to live that life. And that's the really important takeaway here, is that you can blame anyone. You can blame society, you can blame inflation, you can blame the government, you can blame President Trump, you can blame apartheid, you can blame anyone, and you might be legitimately correct that that's why. I mean, I've had situations happen to me. I had one happen today where something very, very traumatic happened to me today. And I was completely I was completely a bystander to this one. I was 100% victim. But if I don't sit there and if I don't take accountability for what happened and say, what part did I play in it, I'm always going to be continually a victim. I know what I did wrong. I trusted somebody, which was a huge mistake. But having said that, I'm still going to live life as if I can fix it, and it's my control, it's my choice, it's my decision on how this continues, this moves on. If you're a victim of something, understood, not blaming the victim here, not blaming how awful things are on you. What I am saying is, if you are in a bad situation and it's not your fault, great, it's not your fault. Put the blame where it belongs. I understand, don't put it on yourself, but you have to fix it. And that's the problem that people don't get, is that if you're in a shitty position in life, a shitty relationship, you got shitty health, you got shitty finances, you're depressed and anxious all the time, that's fine. It may not be your fault, but you are the person who has to live that life. That's the thing, is nobody else has to live it. Nobody else has to wake up in the morning and stare in the mirror and say, oh, it's I gotta live a bad life because this guy's living a bad life because it's partly my fault why they're there. No one else is doing that. You have to do this. You have to live this life, and you have to change it and take control over it and change it the best way you can. You really have to. So this is why I try to, as I'm talking about all this stuff, is I try to very much say, take control and start making a path for yourself. With actually, I'm gonna roll the window down for a little bit. It's hot out. I mean, it is really, really nice out. It's beautiful. The sun's actually burning me. The whole thing is yes, it may not be your fault, but you still have to live that life. And you need to choose right now what you want to do with it. Yes, you don't have to take all the responsibility for where you are right now, but you need to point your ship in a direction where you want to go. This is really important. So as much as I dislike telling people it's not their fault and the cards are stacked against you, it's like if I told a child, oh, sorry, I got to roll this up. It's getting too loud out there. If I told my children every day on their way to school, be careful because every kid in class hates you and wants to beat you up, what is that going to do to their brain? What's that going to do to their mind and their psyche and their sociability and their heart? It's going to be horrible. So instead, you tell them, look, you're in control. You're a nice person. People like you. And yeah, maybe there are a few bad eggs out there. It's true. But what we teach our kids, what we tell our kids, what we tell the people coming behind us is so important to their mental state. So we can't continually be saying the cards are stacked against you. You don't have a hope in hell. You're never going to get rich. You're never going to own a home. You're never going to be financial free. You're never going to be able to retire. Good luck trying to survive in this economy. Horrible, horrible stuff. Maybe true for where you are at right now, but take control. On that note, I'm going to be doing a little bit of or backhanded complimenting, or how do I do it? With humble bragging? I'm going to be bragging a little bit. Actually, boasting. I think it's just straight on boasting. But on Thursday, I took a day off to stay at home and just enjoy myself, right? Just enjoy some time with Gabby. And I took the day off and I sat down in the kitchen, very, very purposely sat down, opened up my laptop and said, I want to build an app. I don't know how to build an app, but I'm going to build an app. I'm going to figure it out and I'm going to do it. So I sat down and I did not leave the table until I actually had a functioning app that could be put on the phone. I was so proud of it. I was so proud of that accomplishment. That happiness has carried me through for a week. That happiness, that satisfaction of creating something out of nothing, out of a thought in my head that this is something I want to do, and just punching and pushing and plugging away until I finally got something that worked. It took all of YouTube, all of Google, all of ChatGPT for me to sit down and actually design some. Oh, and Canva. I'm using Canva a lot these days, and I'm finding it. I don't want this to be an ad for Canva, but man, am I having a good time creating logos and graphics and pictures with that application. Wow! But I use Canva, and I was actually able to create an app. as you can see here. I'll just give you a little preview of the app. You touch on that little thingy there. You see the touch on the app logo there, which is a beautiful app logo that Gabby and I put together. We both came up with it. And then it comes up to the splash screen. Took me a little bit of time to figure out the splash screen. And then there's the logo and all the text on there. Text needs a little bit of work still, I understand. But there, look at these. Look at this app. Look how intuitive it is. Look how gorgeous it is. Every one of these apps works exactly as I designed it, as I thought about it. And I want this to be 100% clear. Wednesday night, I went to bed not knowing how to build an app. Friday morning, I woke up with an app built. That is the power of not manifestation, intention. That's the power of getting up and going, I am going to do this. And by the way, by the end of Thursday night, the app crashed again. So Friday morning when I opened the app up, I had to delete everything because it kept crashing as I was building it. It kept crashing again and again. And then I had to delete the whole thing, start from scratch. And I did. And I just kept working at it. I had a vision, and this is the vision of it. Now, I am going to change some things still because I like it, but I want to make it a little better. I want to make better icons. I'm also going to be integrating what's called an API, and there's another one, JSON, and some stacks, and some, what are they called, data sources. There's a lot more I'm learning as I go, but I want this to be a complete immersive experience for someone who's a whiskey aficionado who wants the app to help them buy the right whiskey and save money doing it, but get the most out of the experience as well. So my point is if I can do it, and I want you to understand, I'm an idiot. I am not a smart person. I did not finish university. I only did 1 year of college before I got out of there. I had big plans, but life got in the way and everything got changed. And I have failed again and again and again. I've been accused of all kinds of things about having attention deficit disorder, being distracted, being unfocused, and true. My point is I'm not better than you. I'm not smarter than you. And within 90 days, we're not even at the end of 90 days yet. I have a website, I have a magazine, I have a podcast, and now I've got a fully functional app, minimally functional app. And I'm doing it alone. I mean, having said that, I do have the world's greatest cheerleader behind me. That's Gabby. Every day she sees me working, she's so proud of me and she's impressed with me and she keeps encouraging me to do more and more. That's huge. You got one of those in your life, you're a lucky person. Trust me, that's winning the lottery. But what I'm trying to say with all this stuff is, it sucks if you're in a bad spot, you're having a tough time, you made some bad decisions, you got in with the wrong crowd, your parents weren't great, no one's giving you handouts. You didn't think university was a thing for you, so you never went. I understand. I do, because my parents couldn't afford education for me. And when my parents died, I got for my mom a chair, and we fought over this bread bowl, the bowl that she used to make bread in. We fought over that because of the memories that it had. There was nothing left. Well, I'm saying there was no big inheritance. So when people say tax the rich, I'm always like, a lot of people who are rich got there on their own 2 feet. Yes, no one does it alone. There's always partners. There's always banking institutions, and there are roads that we drive on and all that stuff. I understand, but to tax people more because they have it, I'm not really a fan of that. Like I said, here's the thing. If we taxed everyone 12% or 20% of their income, everyone across the board 20%, even if it was just that, it would still be rich people paying more, always, because just as it would just expand as the amount got higher. It's just the way it works. It's just math. But some people think that it's okay to take 70% or 75% of a person's income because they have it, and I just don't think that's right. I personally don't think that's right. Anyways, to wrap this all up, I don't want to get too heavy, but if you're in a sticky situation right now, it's not your fault, but it is your responsibility to change it. I think that's the key that's one guy from the UK is missing. It's not your fault. but no one is going to come to rescue you. You have to be your own hero. You have to be your own rescuer. You have to be your own parent, your own financial advisor, your own teacher. You cannot wait for someone. And you know, the lottery ticket thing, this is what I love to tell people. If you're waiting to win the lottery, you be the lottery. You be the winning lottery ticket. The winning lottery ticket is you. It's up here. It's not easy. It's simple, but it's not easy. And that's what I keep saying to people. It's not easy to do it, but the idea, the concepts are simple. Getting out of your financial situation right now, or your lifestyle, or whatever it is that you don't like, it's all about changing your mindset. It's deciding to do it and start moving forward. Again, not your fault where you are right now, but change it. It's your responsibility. Anyways, folks, didn't want this to be a harping lesson on you, but I thought it was important to talk about it, and because I heard this and it just kind of resonated with me, and I thought, you know, don't like it. But yeah, that's it for me. If you're, like I said, please check out Whiskey Compass. It is so cool right now what's happening with Whiskey Compass. I'm enjoying it so much. And the learning process, the achievement, the way things are growing, I'm telling you, follow along, be a part of it. We are so close to actually having this thing being a successful business venture. And it's fun. I actually really enjoy the process of the growth and the accomplishment. It's so satisfying. If you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you hit the thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification, blah, 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 all that stuff. And also check out financialfreeway23.ca. That's where all the really good stuff is. That's where the archival is. That's where we have our commuter MBA program. And finally, as I always like to say, spread the word, spread the good news, spread the love, spread the joy of what we're teaching, spread the gospel, because it is our mission here to make sure that everyone understands that they have an inalienable right to live a life of success, happiness, and abundance. Wherever you are on this gorgeous spring afternoon, God bless.